Welcome to another study, and I hope all of you are fine. We're going to look at pit be dug for the wicked. As you can see, are we going to be among them, or are we going to be on the part of the Lord's army? Remember, all things happening now, they just determine what your decision will be. What will you make as your decision? So we start uh, from this verse here, Psalms 94, verse 12. First, which people are they? Which people are going to be saved, and why are they going to be saved? Remember, no person was born, let's say, righteous, no, but all people are sinners. But we are told through Christ's grace that those who will abide in Christ, those who will go to Christ and tell him, Father, help us to overcome sin, then the Lord is faithful and he will help them to overcome sin in every way. So, Psalms chapter 94, verse 12. Psalms 94, verse 12, it talks about blessed is the person who is taught out of the law, whom the Lord teaches. So, are we going to give ourselves to God to be taught? It says this way, Psalms 94, verse 12. Blessed is the man whom thou chasten, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law. So, blessed man is the person who is taught out of the law of God. Do we give ourselves to God to be taught by him? That is a question. Another thing it says that thou may give him rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the wicked. So the pit is going to be dug for the wicked people. So remember here, we are being told first, if we want not to be in that dig, which in that pit which is going to be dug for the wicked, then we need to keep the law of God through Christ's grace. Remember also, we are told that the Lord has blessed that man, that the Lord will give him rest from the days of adversity. Adversity represents time of trouble or unpleasant time. So the Lord will keep him, and also he will keep him until the days for the pit of the wicked to be dug. So you can see the wicked will have a pit. Will we want to be part of that pit? It is now we make that choice. Remember, God is a God of love. Even that pit, He doesn't want it to be dug. But due to rebellion of people, He has given them mercy. He has given them his only begotten Son. But if still we continue to reject the truth from His word, at last we're going to be participants of that pit. So every person has a choice to make right now, either the commandments of God or the commandments of men, either for Jesus Christ or for Satan. That is what we have to make. No being in the middle. That is what we can say. And then we go to the next verse. It is Isaiah 66, verse 22. It talks about the new heaven and the new earth. Isaiah 66, verse 22. It says that in the new heaven and the new earth, all flesh shall come to worship God. So verse Isaiah 66, verse 22, it says, For as the new heaven and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, says the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. So here the context is in the new heaven and the new earth. What will remain? The God's faithful people will remain. And then it says, and your name will remain. We will be faithful to God. Your name also represents the character will remain. You see, the character will remain. Remember, we saw about they have the name of God on their foreheads, meaning they have the character. Through Christ's grace, the character which we develop now in this world, we will have it in the new heavens and earth. As just as we have read from Isaiah 66:22, for as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. So the name also represents the character. The character of God's people from this earth will remain in the new heaven. That is why we say when Christ went to prepare and build mansions in heaven, we were to prepare characters here on earth through his grace and strength. Another thing, verse 23, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me. So in heaven, there will be the Sabbath, not any day, but the seventh day. Remember, it is now Christ has given us his commandments. In heaven, it will be doing out of love. Because you love God, you keep his commandments. Because you love God, you keep his true Sabbath. Another thing, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be abhorring unto all flesh. So you see, they shall go and look at their carcass. The carcass represent the dead bodies which are in that pit which will be done for the wicked. That is why I bring this connection, that pit that has been done for the wicked, and here the carcasses. So where will they see the carcass? As you can see, they say, and they shall go forth that from that they shall go forth and look upon the carcass. So it will be in a given place. That is why it says, and they shall go forth and look upon. It will not be everywhere, let's say. But also Jeremiah described that he saw on the earth there were no people. Okay. Look upon the carcass of the men that have transgressed against me. Shall for their worm shall not be quenched, neither shall their fire be. They shall be abhorring unto all flesh. So you can see it is us to make a decision whether to be in that pit. And just imagine you are in that pit and your friend has gotten to enter heaven. It will be so sad to say, was that the person we came with him to church? Was that my friend who we were together? It will be so sad. So it's just us that we give God this time and then we enjoy forever than having just this time on earth and enjoying all the pleasures and at last we lose our life. Character, character. You have seen the character of God's people in this planet. When they go to heaven, it will remain with them. So we have to build characters through Christ's grace. Okay? And then we go to First John 3, verse 4. What is sin and how can we avoid sin? Remember, we have seen, blessed is the man whom thou teachest out of thy law. That is Psalms 94, verse 13. And also it says that the Lord will keep him from the days of adversity, the time of trouble, until the pit be dug for the wicked. You can see every person has a choice. So, what is sin and how can we avoid sin through Christ's grace? First John 3, verse 4. First John 3, verse 4, it talks about what is sin. Remember, all the decisions that will be made, it is I follow the commandments of God or my heart. I do whatever I want or follow the lead of my creator. That is the question. Remember, Satan was downcast out of heaven because he did not want to be under the law of God. Even now, he's still fighting the law of God and making men to step on it, to step on it. So are we going to be part of those men who want to step upon the law of God? Remember, we saw also angels themselves, they keep the commandments of God. What about us? That is the question. First John 3, verse 4, it says, whosoever committed sin transgressed also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So sin is what? The transgression of the law. In order for you to be a wicked person, you have to destroy the law of God. And as you have seen, the wicked will be in that pit, which will be so sad. So you don't want to be in that pit. We do the opposite of the wicked. We try and live a life through Christ's grace and prepare our characters for the heavenly kingdom. And Christ himself said in John 14, verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. That is so clear. So if we love God, we shall keep his commandments. That is what Christ himself has said. If you love me, keep my commandments. Christ is calling you today. Will you keep his commandments? That is the question. Choose his commandments rather than being happy with whatever you think is right. And last, you enter into the pit which is dug for the wicked. Every person will make a decision in this time that you are living. May God bless that teaching which we have learned today and may He continue enabling us to understand and also to create our character. Because as we have seen in the new heaven and the new earth, the character will remain, meaning they have to build character while on this earth so that when they go to heaven, the character will remain. Have a blessed day.